Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Inspection Insights, where we cover the latest and greatest tool tips and techniques for everyone's favorite inspection software, Geomagic Control-X. I am your host, Sam Cheney, and today we have a little bit of a different one today. We're actually going to be not really opening up Control-X, we're going to be reviewing the release notes for the brand new Control-X 2026.1.0. If you didn't know this, we actually just released a new release, and I'm going to cover all of the latest and greatest updates that we've added so that you can stay informed. If you would like to download the software, feel free to head over to our website and you should be able to find a link there. Also, if you have Control-X installed and you're on maintenance, it should pop up saying, hey, you have Control-X 2026 available to you. Would you like to go and download it? And you can go and download the software there as well. So a few different ways that you can get it. And if you're having any trouble, feel free to reach out to myself or some of our team in the support department. So let's get over into the release notes and take a look at it. So the first few pages are just kind of going over the basics. Really, we want to start with section 3, new features and enhancements. Now you'll also know when we're scrolling through this, you can see which one, what version of Control-X these features apply to. So you can see Control-X E is Control-X Essentials, Control-X EC is Control-X Essentials Connect. So the first and biggest release is our ability to connect to even more scanners. So we now have the ability to connect to the ZG handheld devices. These are hexagon scanners. So if you're listening to this from China, you have a few different scanners available that are supported, the Korea scan and the Regal scan. But if you are US based or Europe based, you can connect your Atlas scan, Marvel scan and Hyperscan all to the software now. And as part of this this development, we also have the ability, we now support HH scan version 2025.9. We also have the new HyperProbe plugin. So this is great if you're using the Live Inspect feature. Again, really useful if you have this kind of software. Another thing that we have is the support for Define Site. This is for those of you who have Scantech softwares. So yeah, allows you to enable seamless integration with Define Site. So you can find it in Menu, Insert, Scan and Direct Control, and then scroll down to Scantech Define Site. More Hexagon updates as well. We have upgraded support for RDS. So we now support version 6.6, including support for the grayscale line scanning and Unicode support as well. Now, another big section of this these enhancements are to our text and visual scripting. We have a lot of different scripting actions that we have added. So we now have the ability to select by custom selection for entities, transform body as well, for this applies to the CAD, offset operations as well. This I think applies to both measurement and reference. So yeah, again, lots of more support, and again, everything that you see that's been added is actually added to 2 different tools. So it's not only added to the text scripting, so Python, but also the visual scripting as well. The next tool for scripting that we've added is manual pairing as well. This is just for text scripting, but as you can see here, it's not recorded and does not support undo/redo. So just be aware of that when you're using that tool. We also have some enhanced scripting workflows. You can now pause and select in text and visual scripting, and this is going to be really useful if there's ever a script that you have to basically have a pause, so you can then go and select an area of interest or select an area that you need to work on. So you can pause the script at a certain point, allow you to then select the area of interest, and then continue the workflow after you've done that selection. You can also use the custom selection by geometry, and this was added to the results data and allows you to build more consistent and repeatable selections without the manual work. We also have scripted mesh cleanup, so you can delete selected portions of the mesh inside text scripting, and this is going to be very useful for manually cleaning up the data without having to stop and actually do it yourself, kind of triangle by triangle or anything like that. We've also done some improvements to the projected tolerance zone modifier for GD&T, and this works for position, perpendicularity, angularity, parallelism, and concentricity. So allows you to use project modifiers in your visual scripting. Also, we have the triangulate command using the HD mesh construction is now includes the extend boundaries to fill holes. So you could fill more holes automatically when you do that HD mesh construction. This is available in the regular non-programming Control-X as well. But obviously, if you're making a script, it is very nice to have all of the tools that you are used to using when you're kind of just programming or healing a mesh inside Control-X itself. You can now do that, or you can now script it as well. One that I'm pretty happy about is the use reliable data only for the best fit alignment. This allows you, if you have scan data that is messy, dirty, or maybe has some warpage in a particular area, when you're doing your best fit alignment, you can control what data or what input you want to use for that best fit. So you can omit those areas that you don't want to be used for the best fit because maybe it's way far out and you just want to use some more reliable data. It's very, very useful. I use this all the time inside regular Control-X, not when I'm scripting, but now you can do it in both. We also have some extended access to the properties and visibility control inside text scripting as well, so you can turn things on and off as you need to. There is also now the ability to query or check if a cylindrical or conical or spherical region is concave or convex. This allows you to use more rule-based logic when you do setting up these automated inspections as well. Allows you to filter a little bit more easily. So the last section is the scriptability, usability, and performance improvements. We have just a few improvements in the main one really is the faster visual scripting for large-scale data. Basically just speed improvements. Again, who doesn't like faster software? We also have the ability to export reports as a PCDMIS reports or DMO files. So if you have other software like PCDMIS, instead of exporting a report as an XML, PowerPoint, PDF, all of the standard ones that we've seen in batch process in the past, we now also support DMIS files as well, which is great. Custom selection entity for entities as well, so you can now create custom selections, which is pretty helpful. Again, this is in visual and textual scripting as well, but you can do it inside the software too. I think if you have been following any of the other videos that we've released on our YouTube channel, you may have seen some cover of the improvements to the split mesh enhancements. This is really nice. It's a tool that I don't use in my day-to-day life super often. A lot of the times I just work with the mesh as it is, but sometimes, every so often, I will have to split meshes up by curves or by drawings or by planes, etc. And now you can split multiple, you can split the mesh up multiple ways using multiple selection tools as well. So that's really nice. You can do, instead of something that took me 3 or 4 operations to make lots of splits, I can now select them all and it will split it all in one operation. Again, saving you a bit of time and just making the workflow just a little bit easier as well. As well as using planes and curves, we can also use 3D curves to split as well. And you can specify it to the nearest scan data as well. Yeah. There is also improved handling of the regions when splitting with closed. Yeah, this is going to make it easier to continue editing or processing the remaining portions of the mesh after the split operation as well. You can use closed curve groups or remaining regions. There's also improved support for complex profiles. So when splitting with multiple enclosed concentric profiles, like you see here with this capped end that we need to generate, the command can now cap the section ends automatically. Again, it's going to make it cleaner, easier, and just generally a better experience for the users. We also have improvements to our Decimate tool. We also added this for DesignX, but our Decimate tool, I think, has always been really, really good. But now, if you look at the comparison, we had an original mesh, which is, very, very high in terms of triangle count. Maybe we want to reduce those, so we do a decimate operation. Well, in DesignX 2024.3, the decimation tool was good. It was pretty good, but the triangles weren't necessarily always placed super logically, and you can see in the comparison to the 2026.1, the decimation looks like it was almost generated from CAD, right? Very, very efficient use of triangles while also maintaining all of the geometry and the accuracy of that scanned data. So going to produce higher quality results in the same amount of time using the same tool. So who doesn't love an improvement like that? There's also, again, like I said, same amount of time, if not quicker. The actual algorithm has been optimized for faster processing, and we're finding that between 2 to 4 times in terms of improvement on that performance. So very, very useful. And they don't only apply to the decimation, but also the batch processing workflows as well. So actually improvements in speed in a few different avenues as well. We also have a reduction ratio. It's been changed from reduction ratio to remaining percentage. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer, but it's basically just a name change in terms of functionality. We have some improvements to the 3D compare tool, just basically improving the consistency from one side to the other. So we also have improvements to the constructed geometry, and this applies to both Controlix Essentials and Essentials Connect. So everybody with Controlix are getting a lot of these helpful tools and improvements. There is new scan boundary method for boundary geometry. So scan boundary method has been introduced for geometries such as circles, slots, rectangles, etc. And it allows you to create boundaries of the scan data. It allows you to define the boundary from scan data or imported geometry, and then search for the corresponding reference or CAD geometries during manual pairing. And this just is going to improve the efficiency of your day-to-day life if you use this tool a decent amount. We also can do a scan boundary auto search as well, and then also an axis boundary geometry support too. Now, in terms of the smaller changes that you may not, or hopefully you notice it, but it's more the UI UX improvements. Group names are now clearer from captured data to live inspect, and select visible only for CAD entities as well. So you can actually just window over what is there instead of selecting all the way through the CAD model, saving you a few, unselecting the areas that you had selected in the past. We also now support the latest and greatest of all of the CAD that we support. So we support 2026 for CATIA, Creo, Inventor, NX, SolidWorks, and also the step file as well. And we now support LGSX file imports as well. And this is for, if you aren't familiar with this format, it is for Leica Geosystem laser scanners as well. So you can import your Leica files and bring them in either as point clouds and texture as well. We also have the ability to open up Control-X project files that may have crashed or had some problems, in the writing. You can now open them up and read them with recovery, which again, hopefully you don't never have a software crash, but let's be honest, everybody has in every software, right? It's not just limited to Geomagic, but being able to open it with recovery might save you some lost work as well. So again, really, really helpful. This definitely is a feature that I'm pretty happy that is here. We also now have some more documentation tutorial sample projects for Control-X, like different scripting. So yeah, again, useful across the board. And then we have a bunch of bugs. Now I'll scroll through this slowly. I don't have time to cover all of the different bugs that we have solved and fixed, but you can see here we've got bugs for the just kind of general measured tools, the compare tools, and the scripting tools as well. Lots of bugs fixed for all of those. Same with the hardware interface, live inspect, report, and so on and so forth. Again, lots and lots of bugs. So hopefully, if you've submitted a bug report, it's been addressed here. And if not, feel free to reach back out and say, hey, my bug wasn't tackled, and we will escalate that on your behalf as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys will all download Control-X 2026. Let me know what you think of the new improvements. And yeah, also comment below if there's something other that you would like to see in this Inspection Insights series. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.